right. We go again. We go again, 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 and again. Let's share, copy, send it in this chat, and boom, there we are. There we go. There we go. Yeah, there we are. There it is. All right. I hate listening to my own voice. Who doesn't though? I mean, who likes that though? What's up, Gek? What's up, Gek? Gonna end my time here now. I'll be making a few videos and tagging you in them. Hell yeah. Making customizations to your Vietnam War era M1 helmet. See you next stream. May George W. Bush bless you. Only the junior though. The senior I wasn't alive for. I wasn't alive for his reign. I say reign, his presidency. But yeah, appreciate you being here. Yeah, can't wait to see your helmet. Why not? Gek, I'm gonna call you Gek. Why not? 100 Geks. 100 Geks. Rain Becks. Yeah. Like a rain back. Like a rain check. Oh, like that's too niche of a song for y'all to know that. Oh my gosh, my music taste is just so much different than yours. All right. Let's see what we got here. Okay, there we go. Yeah, we back. We back. Your voice makes all of us unchained. Don't be ashamed. What the fuck am I reading? Makes all of you unchained. Like, huh? That's hot. Where the fuck am I? I was looking for oily men and this live popped up. You found me. You found me. I don't even think I have any oil that would suffice for oiling up. I got like some vegetable oil in the kitchen, but for frying chicken patties and various other meats. But yeah, I don't think I have anything for like. I mean, that's safe to go in your body, right? It's safe to put cooking oil on your body, right? So long as it's like, hasn't been used to fry anything. And obviously, this is not like hot, duh. But that's safe, right? Surely, am I thinking of that correctly? Is there? I gotta look that up. Crisco or nothing. I got like great value brand. I got it from Walmart. I'm not a vegetable man. I can walk. I can do all the things. I'm not dumb enough to go around live streams, bitching and moaning about, how they disrespect my religion or anything. Tends to burn a bit. I gotta test that out. I got some plans with that. I don't know. Let me look at. Is that even safe to do? Let me look this up really quickly. I know you all know what I'm thinking. I gotta see if this is a thing I could even do. If so, I might do it just to say I did it. But wait, is it safe to? Let's see what we got here. It is safe to like with vegetable oils, but rather messy. Oh, okay. I don't care about a mess. It's the whole point is to make a mess. Fuck it. I might try that out later. Yeah. Let's. That's all I'm gonna say about that. You don't like my religion very much. I mean, I'm not in a religion. I'm an atheist. If you mean you don't like my lack of belief in God too much, I mean, thanks for your opinion, I guess. You spent your days mocking the cross, and now you face eternity without mercy. JP, I want to ask you a man-to-man question really quickly. What do you expect me to do after reading that? What do you expect me to do after reading that, right? Do you expect me to be scared, right? Because if that's the case, I'm not scared of it. Imagine if I threatened you with being sent to the Phantom Zone, right? Are you saying it just to feel better about yourself? If so, maybe fix your life. If it's neither of those, why are you saying that to me? Let's hear it. Are you offended at something I did and it's like trying to get your hit back? If that's the case, fair. Fair. Also, what's up? It was good to see you. God hates you. If it's any consolation, I don't think God hates you. I think God doesn't exist. Gnostic atheist or agnostic atheist. Gnostic against a Christian God and any gods that makes claims that go against what we know about reality, but agnostic against the idea of just like a God, period. You should be scared. Why should I be scared of your conception of hell? Hope that it makes you think long and hard about eternity. Oh, if that's the case, no, that's not what that's gonna do. Some random psychopath in my chat saying, "Oh, you're gonna burn," isn't gonna make me think, "Oh, whoa, am I gonna burn?" Like, no, it's just not how it happens. Jesus loves you. I'm not reading the rest of that. I'm past the point of reading copy pastas, right? Bum. Okay, you mock Christians for their faith. Now demons mock you for your unbelief. We're just saying catchphrases at this point. What other catchphrases you got on your notepad? You should be scared, bum. I'm not. I'm so sorry. Sorry to ruin your revenge fantasy, but you're gonna have to jerk off to something different now. Might I recommend like a Mia Malkova cream pie compilation or something? That those hit. But the idea of somebody that doesn't believe the same way that you do, burning in hell, it's not gonna do it. I'm so sorry. The PC Works now got a brand new dedicated games emulator. Praise Nvidia. Been sitting in the closet for 5 years. Hell yeah, man. Hell yeah. Who do you think you are? A fat Discord mod. What does that literally have to do with anything? I own a Discord server, right? I'm a creator, a content creator, right? But fat, eh. Stop saying bum. You sound British. Maybe he is British. Why do we repent if we will sin again? I don't believe in repenting, but I mean, decent question. When did he mock Christians? I didn't mock Christians. I mocked some Christians. I'll be honest. I mocked some of the more like out there, outlandish, like church services and things like that. It might happen again in this stream. You're never a Christian. It requires faith. That makes no sense, Woods. How can somebody not be a thing because they were a thing and no longer believe in a thing? Are you just trying to cope with the fact that somebody can believe the same way that you do and then not believe in it anymore? Is God really not real? I'm 13. I don't think we should have this discussion. I don't think it's up to me to dictate your religious beliefs to you at such a young age. So I'm not gonna comment on that personally. A question: if new evidence arrives that shows Christ for sure existed, will you come back to the faith or will you stick to your beliefs? Show that Jesus existed or like Christ? Like these are two different words, right? The person Jesus. I'm already not a mythicist, so I believe he existed. I just don't believe he was divine in any way. If you mean like the Son of God, then like I'd believe that he exists, but I wouldn't worship him at that point. D Money, I'm gonna do you one better. I'm not. He's not coming back. I'm sorry, he's not coming back. Hi, user on this channel, you will never come back. I'm so sorry, but you can come in and scream at the void all you want to. And JP, you can go too. You can go too. Yeah, you can just go. Bye bye. You'll still be able to see your own messages, but nobody in the chat will be able to see them because you're a bitch. So sorry. Nope, you never believed. Oh, whatever you got to tell yourself, Woods. But yeah, I did, and I'm not going to debate you about it. So sorry. I fornicated with his mother. Let's talk about how I had rough, hot sex with D Money's mom. Let's talk about it really quickly. And JP's grandmother in a threesome. Fuck that old woman. Made her titties bounce all the way down to her kneecaps. It was fantastic. What's your argument against Islam? I'm not going to talk about my arguments against Islam because fundamentalist Muslims are among the most intellectually dishonest people I've ever met. Your stream is a flame that draws in annoying moths. Yeah, it's. I mean, I knew what I'm getting myself into. It's fine. If I gotta wade through 5 pounds of trash to get to 1 nugget of gold, I'll do it. Why not? Weren't there mass war crimes committed in the Crusader Wars and all in the name of God? Yeah, the Crusades, the Inquisitions. We're not even talking about the slave trades and all that. Yeah, they'd have a pretty high body count for sure. What are atheists? An atheist is somebody that doesn't believe in a god or gods. That's quite literally all it is. Count that as a skadoosh. I should start pouring shots in advance. That's 2 skadooshes. I got 2 people out of here forever. They're probably still typing right now, but nobody can see them. They're just going to be screaming into the void until the day they die. Find back God. God loves you. That's such a rapey thing to say to people when you really think about it, right? Oh, this person doesn't believe in you. Don't believe in. He loves you. It's like, imagine that's the equivalent of like, was anybody here ever like had a shy friend in middle school or elementary school, and you had to like, they told you to tell like the person they were into that they had a crush on them or something. Like that's what that feels like to me. If Jesus loves me so much, if God loves me so much, and they're not chicken shit and also all powerful, then they know where to find me. You don't have to like send a bunch of random people to YouTube chat to tell me that. Islam or Christianity? If I actually had to choose, like gun to my head, I'd be a Christian. Um, A, I'm more familiar. B, I've read the Quran, and that's all I'll say. I'll leave it at that. In my opinion, saying God loves you or I pray for you to an atheist is backhanded. It is. But to be fair, a lot of them are just like programmed to do it, right? It's really scary to think about how people can just like do entire actions, sit here and type words out at least, or do other potentially awful, horrific things just because they're programmed to do so. That is so odd to me. Good night. Allergies are too strong. I have allergies too. Fuck them. Take some Zyrtec. That's really good. Yeah, that's the good stuff. But have a good rest of your night, Iris. Good to see you as always. Well, it's not crush love; it's taking a bullet for your love. Same. I think you missed the point, right? The fact that it has to be communicated through other people instead of him telling me himself is what makes it creepy. Why this feed like you know what's going to happen? Because I want people to critically think about why they believe the things that they do, and if it means dealing with a bunch of idiots in the meantime, I'll deal with a bunch of idiots. I'll much rather get to one person after dealing with 100, people that don't want to think differently than just not do it at all, right? Teacher said I was going to hell for being an atheist. I think she should lose her license, but that's just me. I believe in the sun because I can see it. Yeah, good epistemology, right? What would you say the Lord? Why would you say the Lord loves and the Lord doesn't love all? That's a lie that needs to stop being said. Fair enough, right? Let's go demon mode. No, we're not going demon mode right now. I believe because there is no proof and there is divinity in that. I wouldn't say there's divinity and a lack of proof or something. I think that's personally absurd, but whatever works for you. Also, what's up, Brittany? Good to see you today. Do you want me to say your first name? I'm sorry, but how you doing today? How's your day? How's your night? How's your life? How's your wife? How's your strife? How's your plife? All that good stuff. How you doing today? Pray for you is one heck of a way for someone to let you know they're going to shit talk about you later when you're not around. Some even take it to the church so more people can pray to. If it's any consolation, I don't even think that's the case. I think that, so the fact of the matter is a lot of the Christians in here haven't even read their book. So they're theologically lazy. And I think that a theologically lazy person isn't actually going to pray for you if they cared about you, right? They say they're going to pray for you to like try to say what they're programmed to do, and also to like try to get your attention and just be like low key kind of condescending and backhanded about it. But if somebody's theologically lazy enough to not actually read the book that that's supposed to dictate their beliefs, they're going to be too lazy to remember to pray about you before when they scroll away into YouTube shorts and have their attention span reduced to smithereens. If it's creepy that others have to tell what what? Is there anything that will bring you back to Christianity? What would make me believe that God exists is evidence, right? What would make me actually follow God is basically for him to prove that the entirety of the Bible is false. It's a false doctrine. He's the God that inspired it, but he's not the God that's described in it. He wasn't the one that condoned slavery and all the other awful shit. And worship is optional. There's no hell, and like there is moral reconciliation. That's what will make me a Christian again. So, realistically speaking, no, I'm not going to be a Christian ever again. Try paganism or spirituality. I'm good on that. Imagine Hugh makes it into heaven because everyone prayed for him. Could you imagine? Who do you guys think will win in a super sloppy makeout matchup session between Jesus and Allah? Please tell me who would win and how many rounds you think it would go. I don't know the rules of their makeout sesh. I feel like Jesus maybe has some experience because he told 12 dudes to rub on his feet and to eat of his flesh. He's going to be the strong contender there. But yeah, I'll take Jesus on that. Yeah, fuck it, why not? Quran, not Quran, Allah, not Allah, Jesus Christ. I think you did say Allah too, but Muhammad, he'd come in like a close second.
Love you, Hugh.
I love you even more, at least. In the most platonic way possible. Come here. I know you got a man, but you know this. None of the you know. Thank you for the $2 super chat. It's good to see you, Elise. How you doing today? I'm still over on YouTube until my computer gets fixed. I'm moving now too, so it's gonna be like maybe a month before I come back to like, you know, full time to TikTok like I used to be. But good to see you, friend. How you doing today? Justice for Aisha, man. Justice for Aisha. 400-year Atlantic slave trade. What did you say before that? Now, he did allow slavery, yes, for us backsliding, turning from him. I think that's fucking disgusting, actually, right? Believe that I exist and believe in the correct way, or I'm going to condone slavery. Like, that's a weak piece of shit, God, if you ask me personally. I think that's awful. You're not making it any better. If anything, you're making it worse. So, no, I wouldn't go there if I were you. In the least platonic way possible, come here. No, completely, totally platonic. We respect people in relationships around here. We don't do any of that, like, kind of weird, whatever the fuck. But yeah, we don't do that. Speaking of which, yeah, thank you so much for the $2 super chat, Elise. All love to you as well. Taking the anti-theism pill right along with you. What makes you become an atheist? For me, it was just a lack of evidence for God. I looked at the evidence sucked, so that's why I left. She wasn't sick, she was much older, plus it doesn't defeat Islam, because that's Hadith, not Quran. Yeah, I'm still wholly uninterested in the Quran then. If we're at the point of even having the... Firstly, I've read the Al-Bukhari, let's start there. Gave very, very, very clear translation of saying she was 6 during the dedication to marriage and 9 during the consummation. So the fact that we are even in a religion that requires us to lie about it or to try to put lipstick on the pig, so to speak, lets me know that it's just simply not the religion for me. So you can cope to yourself any way that you want to, but I will never be a Muslim. I would quite literally have to like get smacked in the back of my skull with a freshly seasoned cast iron pan before I become a Muslim. Not here to convince you at all. If you are Esau, no salvation for you due to your forefather putting us through slavery. Yeah, that's disgusting as fuck, but yeah. You know, matter of fact, you can set this dick straight. Skadoosh. Take care. Yeah, or that'll do. That's plenty. Did you find peace after being an atheist? Yeah, I'd say I'm more at peace now, not believing that God exists for sure. She wasn't 6, she was 7, so it's okay. Yeah. I don't understand why they just have to lie so hard about it. Ask somebody who believes in it, who's fundamentalist about it especially, and they'll say like, oh, there's just no contradiction. It gets science 100% right. And it's all of the very obvious deviations from it are incorrect, and you just don't understand it correctly. That's peak intellectual dishonesty, and that's part of the reason I don't talk to fundamentalist Muslims. 16 is a child. 16 is indeed a child. Somebody tried to say she was 16 and not 6. Oh, she was 16, not 6. You're fucking disgusting. I already read that. If ETs visit Earth, will they ask if we've heard of their personal Lord and Savior Jesus Christ? I highly doubt it. Did a 16-year-old consent? Yeah, 16-year-old apparently is enough to consent with Muhammad's old, dusty, pedophilic 54-year-old ass, apparently. She's actually 1,000. Yeah, sure, she looks like like she's fresh out of preschool, but no, she's actually 1,000. She's a witch. Disgusting. Hawk Tua. Hawkity Tua. You're committing the fallacy of presentism because we live now to 80. Big difference. Oh, my bad, dude. Yeah, so Allah knows everything, but Allah doesn't know better. Yeah, he doesn't know better than that humans are eventually going to have a longer lifespan. So maybe, maybe communicate that to Muhammad during the time. Yeah, of course, you fucking pedophile apologist. Hawk Tua. There's nothing you can say to me that's going to make me think of you as anything other than like a giant piece of shit. So sorry to tell you, but awful. Firstly, you're lying anyway. I've I'm telling you, I've read the Al-Bukhari before I even read the Quran. So I know what it says. So firstly, you're a lying piece of shit. You're also a pedophile apologist piece of shit, and a pseudo intellectual, pseudo logical piece of shit. 3 strikes, and you're out. Have a good rest of your night. Appreciate you being here, but the only aroma I can smell is the aroma of you getting skadooshed. Take care. Have a good one. Bye bye. Take care. Hawk Tua. Could you give me your definition for life? I say life is, I just go with the dictionary definition, like the ability of an organism to self-replicate, metabolize, things like that. Do gay go to hell? I don't believe in hell, so no. 16 is 266% of 6 and it's still bad. Exactly. I don't know why they argue it. I don't get it. I'll never get it. Oh, it was permissible back then because people didn't live as long. What, proportional consent? Are we fucking joking? No, I'm getting pissed off even thinking about it. I'm sorry for anybody asking questions right now, but like consent and the ability to consent as defined by an all-powerful, all-knowing being is proportional on your fucking lifespan. Are we joking? Are we fucking joking? Holy shit. People, they wonder. People come in here all the time like, oh, I don't see you saying this shit about Islam. Islam's disgusting. Look what it makes people do. Hello? Awful. Awful. Lying about her age, first off. Lying like she wasn't this much of a minor. She was, this much of a minor. A little bit less minor, I guess. And it was perfectly permissible because people lived shorter lives back then. Fuck off. Disgusting, man. Terrible. Terrible, 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 terrible. Any Christians in chat who are looking for some sort of catharsis, know that at the very least, I don't think your religion's as bad as a religion making you lie about a minor getting fucked by a 54-year-old. At the absolute very least, if you take nothing away from this stream, at the very least, we have a mutual disrespect for that shit. See what we got here. I'm not reading that all cap shouty bullshit Jesus saves official. I don't, whatever you're saying, I just don't care. Wrong then, wrong now. And apparently, like all powerful, all knowing being, Allah knows everything, but Allah doesn't know better, apparently. I guess. Okay, sure. Lifespan was only low due to high infant mortality. If you made it to adolescence, there's a pretty good chance you die of old age. Yeah, there you go, right? If you don't sin, Jesus died for nothing. Hell yeah. How do you know right from wrong? Where do you get your consciousness of what's good and bad? Empathy is how I get my idea of right from wrong. Simply Sarah, thank you for subscribing. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Suppose that all the world's religions could be proven false. This wouldn't render atheism true. So what are your arguments for atheism that don't just reduce to arguments against particular religions? So the atheistic position is the position of accepting reality at face value, the way I like to look at it. It's the lack of belief in God or gods, because all claims of God are presented without evidence. And so it's not a positive affirmation. Some people positively affirm it. I personally don't. I think it's unknowable if there's a God that exists. But every single conception of God is presented without any sort of good, solid evidence that it's the case. So I have no choice but to throw it away. And all I'm left with is zero gods, which is what makes me an atheist. It's a reductive position. It's not an affirmative position. So do you wipe or let it crust? What the fuck kind of question is that, man? Of course I'll let it crust. They call people Islamophobic because they can't call them a liar. Yeah, I'll proudly say it, dude. Especially from coming as a position of reading the hadiths, and I think I missed one of the hadiths, but reading the Quran, reading the hadiths, you don't want that like we maybe don't want people to be fundamentalists about that book. That's completely fair to say. If you don't believe me, read it for yourself. It's right there, free online. Go for it. We maybe don't want that shit spreading. Don't like it. Oh, you're so intolerant. I'm intolerant against intolerance. Absolutely. Yeah. Just for the record, by the way, Iraq recently made it legal for 9-year-olds to be married to adults. I wish I was joking. So, yeah. I'm so progressive that I'm progressive against something regressive. Oops. Like, oops, I guess. Right? Like, hello? Yeah, I think pedophilia is bad. Actually, yeah, I think um, a conception of hell that says that somebody should be sent to hell, have their skin burnt off, and then being given new skin over and over for all of eternity. I think that sucks. Actually, yeah. So I don't know what to tell you. Free Palestine, free Palestine. No, yeah, let's free Palestine. What's your holy book which inspired you? I used to be a Christian. If that answers your question. Uh, I'm glad you have the balls to say it. A lot of people would be afraid to be called Islamophobic. I mean, from a lot of the people that are so afraid to be called such a thing, they want to be seen as just like this all tolerant, whatever the fuck. I don't tolerate intolerable things. I have no issue with the people. I have no issue with the culture. I have no issue with the language. I have no issue with anyone from that side of the world. Islam could be the main religion of Minot, North Dakota, and I would still have the exact same contentions to get it. It's not a racial issue. It's not a cultural issue. It's not xenophobic at all. It is purely the book. The book can be used by anybody. I have the exact same problem with the fact that people are like I couldn't care less. I don't care if you're from Bosnia, Albania, fucking Comoros, goddamn Somalia, Turkey, wherever Bangladesh, anybody like it's all going. It's read it for yourself, see for yourself. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Like jeez, like, see for yourself. It's right there, free online, Quran.com. Read it for yourself. Anyway, that's enough of my. That's enough of that rant. Anyway. You were raised atheist and personally found God. Lots of people leave religion they were raised in. I'm glad you found what convinces you. Simone Tanzi, thank you for subscribing. I appreciate it. Just popping in to say I've gone through doubts in my own faith, but witness answer prayers throughout. Love the God of Israel. Hope you guys have a good night. Death, suffering, and sickness entered into our world when we told God we don't want Him in our lives, and that's the very consequences of the absence of God. So, us telling God that we don't want Him in our lives is what caused like earthquakes and what caused the sun to start giving off UV radiation. Because I think that's kind of absurd. The God of the Old Testament is the demiurge. We're Gnostic about it. I think that's going to do you a little bit better, but I mean, it's even then it doesn't fix too many of the issues. Ex-atheist, how do you deal with existential crisis? Ooh, that's a fantastic question. Um, I don't know how to best communicate my existentialist beliefs to people because it's like, am I nihilistic in that I don't think that things have an objective purpose? Yes, but I don't think that declines you of your agency to figure out what the purpose is for your own life and where you want your life to go, basically. So, um, not having anybody to tell you what matters and what's the purpose doesn't decline you of your agent. I mean, deprive you of your agency, if that makes any sense. That's how I get through it. But your mileage may vary. I hope you found what works for you. How do you handle materialism? I don't like. What do you mean? How do I handle it? Like, what issue with materialism would you like? Would you in particular want me to reconcile? Islam on top and not talking about the fighter, although he him too. Although he him too. On top. I'm not gonna finish what I want to say, but you keep thinking it. Do you believe in evolution? I acknowledge evolution because there's more than enough evidence for it. Yeah. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger. You don't find suffering, soul building. I'm not saying the soul building that has to come with dying in an earthquake, though, or the soul building that comes with getting your DNA damaged by UV radiation from the sun and getting cancer from it. You know, it's like, you're making a comic? Hell yeah, what's it gonna be about? Uh, hot voice. I appreciate that, Doodle. Thank you so much. Before I say what, never mind. But I'll take the compliment. Thank you. I'll you're making me blush. Would you be inclined to agree that as long as you acknowledge that you can't know it to be true, simply believing what makes you a better person is an acceptable medium for unorganized religion? I wouldn't say. I say what I go with the route of whatever works for you is what works for you, right? I respect people's right to believe what they're convinced of. I respect people's um, right to believe just period what they want or what they're convinced of, but I don't see anything that I can take from it in my own life to like take away from it in any way. So um, I don't know. Your mileage may vary. I guess is my ultimate answer to that. Doodle, thank you for subscribing. I appreciate you. Thank you. Welcome in. Better safe than sorry. You live on earth for a second, you will live entirety in hell. I'm guessing you meant eternity. No, so what if the God that actually existed wants you to be an atheist? And if you're not an atheist, if you believe in a false God, then you go to hell. I'm good and you're fucked. So just going off of like what ifs of unverified religions isn't going to be a good reason to believe in that religion in and of itself. Oh, why are there two people saying Trump is Jesus? What the? I shouldn't have never restarted. Have you read the Bible? I've read the Bible twice. Yes. Smoking on that Mr. Gecko. Oh no, Mr. Gecko. No, dude. Why'd you say the fucking words, dude? Why'd you say the words, dude? Oh my gosh. Well, I'm so sorry. GERD is real. Yeah, GERD is why I sound like this. What made you stop? The lack of evidence for God existing is why I stopped believing in God. What's up, Rihanna? Good to see you. What made you become an atheist? Lack of evidence. Someone went gay and now is ashamed. If you're talking about me, no. But even if you want to use like me going gay as an insult or some sort, like I'm not seeing what would be like how I'm expressing shame at being. I don't know. Maybe you're talking to somebody else. Did you ever do what Jesus said to do, like hate everybody around me to become his disciple? If that's the case, no. Is it gay to be an atheist? I sure as fuck hope not, right? It's a lack of evidence for Satan. I don't believe in Satan either, if that's what you mean. Is this clickbait? I don't think a discussion about religion is going to be clickbait, right? Developing means increasing current for the second time, so saying that we didn't have medicine. Oh, you're talking to somebody else. Riddle me this. Can you answer a fundamental question of matter for me? I can try my best. Tyler, thank you for subscribing. Good to see you. Welcome, man. Welcome, man. Did you understand the King of the South versus the King of the North? I'm not even sure what that is, to be completely honest with you. Hope you found happiness even if you haven't followed religion. I appreciate the well wishes, Tristan. Thank you so much. How do you feel about the testimony of the apostles? They all martyred for professing Christ resurrected. So there's no contemporary evidence for any apostolic martyrdom, right? There's at best you'll get to maybe, and I mean being generous, three of the apostles even existed in the first place, and there's no evidence that that's what they got martyred for. That's what they died for. So all you're saying is that, they were claimed to have died in the book for this thing, therefore the thing is true. I mean, I can make a similar story right now. I could write a story where Jacob Stiglitz dies and gets run over by a train because of his belief that a dragon is flying overhead, even though nobody else sees it. Does that make the dragon actually true in our reality? Absolutely not. But most importantly, just because somebody's willing to die for something, that's not going to make the thing that they die for true in and of itself. There was a siege in Waco, Texas in the early 90s because of what the Branch Dravidians believed in. There was a mass suicide in Georgetown, Guyana because of what the People's Temple believed in. And there was also a terrorist attack in 2001 based on what Al-Qaeda believed in. So I don't know if that's the route you want to go with that. Ashim, thank you for subscribing. I appreciate it. Hope you come back in faith. I know it can be so hard when you don't see anything, but God is very good, and your highly valued soul, I very much hope it makes it to heaven. You know what? I'm not even going to address that. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry, but there's nothing to say to that one. Just thank you. The Bible says, blessed are those who do not see but believe. Yeah, John chapter 20, verse 29. I'm fully aware of what it says, but it seems really, I addressed on this in my story, like my video of why I stopped believing in God, but it seems kind of odd to me that an all-powerful being that knows how to convince everybody because he's all-knowing too, and could convince them because he's all-powerful, that he would, for some odd reason, make blind acceptance of the story a virtue. That seems kind of weird to me. It seems more so like that's something written by humans to make believers content in not ever having evidence for the thing being true, but an all-powerful, all-knowing being, considering it virtuous to just like accept things with no proof. I'm not buying that, not even for a second. Bang Nguyen, thank you for subscribing. I appreciate it. Vietnamese. How'd you become a Christian? It's what I was raised with. I had my born again moment when I was 12, though. The beast, I'm guessing, beast system is unfolding before your eyes and you don't see it. You're correct. I don't see it. I'm failing to see how the mark of the beast is, you know, unfolding before our very eyes. People have been claiming that for as long as I've been alive, and I'd imagine they've been claiming so for the past 2,000 years as well. So I guess we'll see, right? Do you accept the church fathers? Many of them knew apostles personally and to see and describe the apostles' martyrdom. Did they offer contemporary evidence, though? Right. I'm fully aware of what you know, the early church fathers had to say, but do they provide any sort of contemporary historical evidence? Because if they don't, I'm going to just think that these are people claiming things for theological intention, especially when you look at how ancient Rome spread their religion around the world around that time that they were alive. Did I read your comments? I didn't. I'm so sorry. There's a lot of people in here. I know you're. If you want to tell me what your comic is about, you can try like, I don't know. It's like if you're over 18, you can try joining my Discord or something. I'll love to hear about what your comic's about. The only reason I don't like churches today is because how different is what the church is today are telling me versus what Jesus was saying back when he was alive. In some ways. Why the title? I don't believe that God exists. How do you trust any historical event? With contemporary evidence, or at the absolute very least, if there's no contemporary evidence, then the things that they claim shouldn't be supernatural in nature, right? I'm going to trust somebody saying that there was, I don't know, an ancient war general that led an army.
If God knows all, do you think he created Satan to intentionally betray him?
I'll get to that in a quick second, Nicholas. I want to rather trust somebody claiming that there was like an old war general that had some wars, got, overthrown, died by guillotine or something. Even though they might not have existed, I'm going to trust that over somebody rising from the dead when we know that doesn't happen. So if they're both presented without contemporary evidence, but in general, there's got to be good evidence for your beliefs. Also, Nicholas Harrison, Karate Master. Hiya! Thank you for the $5 super chat. I appreciate it. If God knows all, do you think he created Satan to intentionally betray him? There is biblical precedent for that, right? In Isaiah chapter 45, verse 7, it says that God creates good and he creates evil or calamity. He, the Lord, does all these things. And so it would logically follow if God is the eternally existing thing and he created everything after him that exists separate from him, and Satan is one of those things and he's all knowing too, then he did create Satan to be his enemy. And to me, that seems kind of absurd. It's like a Deus ex machina sort of situation, just a MacGuffin or a Mary Sue, whatever you want to call it. Seems kind of like some random shit made up to offer a non-existent problem so that you can sell the non-existent solution. But thank you so much for the $5 super chat. And also, Mr. Random, thank you for subscribing as well. I appreciate it. We don't fill in gaps of knowledge with God. Indeed, we don't, or at least we try our best not to. The New Testament is a historical document. That is objectively false. How would God justify a consciousness? I'm not sure what you're asking, but maybe I don't get where your intention with it. If God knows all, that he did intentionally make him to betray us. The world needed a God to punish sinners. Yeah, I'm not seeing why God himself couldn't have done that on his own. Yeah, it seems, again, it's just like way too ontologically complex for me to think that any of this is real. What about Moses' part in the Red Sea? A fictional story. Even most scholars will tell you that Moses most likely didn't exist. Jesus has some good teachings, but people have and will take any religion to bend to cruel whims. He had some good teachings. He also had some awful teachings, said some awful things too. Like Luke 14:26, he tells people to hate father and mother, hate everyone around them in order to be his disciple. I think that's kind of absurd, right? Would you agree that organized religion in particular is principally wrong, save for those inherently rooted in philanthropy, such as Sikhism, for example? I don't know. Maybe I just don't know enough about enough organized religions to give you an accurate example, like a full answer. Like intuitively, I want to say that's kind of reductive, but overall, I agree. Gang.
Sparkles emoji.
Gang. Sparkles emoji. Ah, wipe his nose. Oh yeah. Ugh. Thank you for the $3.49 New Zealand, Jesse. I appreciate it. I'm sorry. I between starting the stream back over, I took a caffeine pill. I think it's just hitting in right now. Azil, you got my attention, dude. What the fuck do you want, man? What do you want? What do you want, man? What do you want? What you want to do? What you got my attention now? What do you want, man? All eyes are on you. Mommy and daddy are asleep. I get it. You need attention. Now you have it. So what you want? Bills can't be that high. How much do you think I make off of this? And how much do you think a 29-year-old man's expenses are who lives on his own? Let's see if you know how money works, or maybe you just have all your food and rent paid for by mommy and daddy, so you don't know how money works. Stream cat's eye. I might. What about clothes? His clothes being found in 1989. So not verified as his clothes, but I'll even go so far as to say that even if they were, it wouldn't prove that he was the son of God. It would just prove that maybe he existed. I go back and forth about my mythicism. Maria Vimo, my ex's name is Maria. Thank you for subscribing. The impersonator of the non-existent W name. Thank you for subscribing as well. I appreciate it. Isn't it crazy how less judgmental you can feel when you're an atheist? Overall, yeah, it's I'd say it's kind of, I want to say it's made me into a better person, but I'll say that it's given me less theological incentive to be shitty to people, and I feel like a lot of people just haven't learned that yet. I'll bring the lube, but you won't pay for that. What the fuck? Hello? The fuck do you mean you'll bring the lube, man? You know where the key is. It's in the flower bed in the far corner, under about like 1 inch of dirt. He definitely existed as a historical figure. I mean, it's up in the air about even if that's the case. Like, there's no good contemporary evidence of his life, death, or resurrection, especially his resurrection. Like, the best you'll get is like decades out. But even if you were to grant it, it's like, I mean, it doesn't get me very far with thinking he was the son of God. Okay, Azil, you're not saying anything worth my time, so I'm gonna go get you out of here. Come on, you can do it. Say stuff. You're fumbling. You're falling off. Oh yeah, you ate an edible or some shit. You can get the fuck out of here. 24 hours. Have a good rest of your day, Azil. You can fumble into your. I'm not gonna say what I want to say. It was gonna be a really, really, really disgusting joke, but skadoosh. Take care. Have a good one. Being a believer should mean that you love one another as you love yourself. I don't know if I internalized that completely. I think some motherfuckers need to go, dude. Some motherfuckers gotta die. That's a little bit harsh, but I don't love everyone as I love myself. Some people just gotta go. If you're out here touching kids, you probably gotta go. Out here sexually assaulting people, you gotta go. Right? I don't love you as I love myself. I'm not a rapist. I'm not a pedophile. If you're one of these things, you gotta go. I'm so sorry. Multiple other things too. I'm not even gonna get into the meat of it, but some people gotta die. So no, I'm not entirely humanistic about that. You died and went to hell. It's real. People claim that they've seen all sorts of different things when they quote unquote died or were near death. You know, somebody who's done DMT and is also a human being who has DMT in his brain, just like you. It makes a lot more sense that was just like your brain when close to death, when oxygen deprived, hallucinated something to better calm itself down. If that weren't the case, then people from different regions of the world wouldn't see such vastly different religious concepts in their NDEs. I'm glad you made it, but yeah, it's easily explainable. Yeah, easily explainable. You banned the father of my kids. I'm sorry, what's the banned word? I don't know. Let's try figuring it out, right? This is the most, let's see, and that is the most human things. We think Hitler and pedos deserve hell, but Jesus can redeem them and show them the way. I don't think there should be any redemption for Hitler or pedophiles. I'm sorry. Excuse the hell out of me. That's another good reason for me not to go back to Christianity, right? If Hitler and pedophiles and the KKK and Jeffrey Dahmer and Ted Bundy can just like repent and all of a sudden end up in heaven, I don't want to be in heaven with them people. Hello? I don't want to be in heaven with them. Why would I want that? You hate some people, correct? Do you think there is any way for them to be a moral person with reason, or are they just too ignorant to reflect? Uh, I don't know. Both, right? Like, there's some acts I find so repugnant that there's just no morally coming back from it, right? I don't think that somebody who touched a kid can do anything in their life to pay back that sin. I use the word sin here loosely, right? But to pay back for such an awful thing. So I'd say it's a little bit of both. It's impossible to say. You not reading my comment? There's 234 people in here, Leandra. You are not the center of my universe. You're not the center of the stream. So sorry I'm not reading your comment in particular, but maybe just, I don't know, just calm the fuck down, possibly. Let's see if that works for you. You are language. So happy I'm not you. I feel sorry for you. Sound sad, seeking for attention from people. This is Christian love for you guys. Be condescending and try to talk down to people because they simply don't believe the same thing that you do. Right. That's Christian love for you. Christian love, as this dude just showed in the chat, isn't the reason I left Christianity, but good goddamn if somebody left Christianity or doesn't want to come back to it because of the constant bad behavior of Christians, I wouldn't blame them. I would not blame them. Well, not one bit. Who the fuck says I want to be in the same religion as people who feel like they can get to talk down to people just because they don't believe in the same religion as them? Black Pill, I have an account on incels.is. I'm kidding, of course. Kidding. What caused the Big Bang to occur? It's impossible to say physically. Were you a true Christian or a mainstream Christian? I'm not playing your game, Jiff. I'm so sorry, but yeah, I'm not trying to, like, oh, let me present my form of faith to you to see whether or not it meets your standards. That's just not a game I'm ever going to play. Wouldn't it make more sense to believe in a higher power? Because why not? I mean, literally, what's the disadvantage of believing in a God? Believing in an untrue thing, treating people a way that they shouldn't be treated because the God that you believe in tells you to do so, wasting time that you're never going to get back, mental health that comes with believing that you are worthy of punishment for solely existing, mental health hit that comes from believing that you could possibly hurt this God's feelings in a way that can cause you to get punished. There's a lot of things to lose from believing in a God. Larry, see you later. Have a good rest of your night. I already answered you, so let me spam it 50 more times. That's not gonna happen. I'm so sorry. You must have me fucked up. Skadoosh.
It's not just bad behavior, it's their hypocrisy.
Nicholas, thank you for the $2 super chat. I wholeheartedly agree. I wholeheartedly agree. These motherfuckers will say till the cows come home. Jesus said, love thy neighbor. Firstly, Jesus was talking about your literal neighbor next door. But even if I were to ignore that and say like, oh, he meant like just your fellow human in general, they'll say shit like that, claim that this is the arbiter of their morality in their life, but then turn around and just be awful people to people that think differently than them. It'll never, ever make sense to me. I couldn't blame anybody whatsoever. Like, for me, it was all the logic, the lack of logical substantiation, the lack of archaeological proof, the lack of historical proof, the lack of very clear evidence in God showing himself in some way. But for somebody who says Christians treated me mean, so I wanted nothing to do with them and I left church because of that, I don't blame them one bit. Just look at the chat. That'll show you clear as day. Just the blatant hypocrisy that comes with their supposed beliefs versus their actions. But then they want to claim it's like he's the arbiter of my morality and that's why I think things are bad. It's like, give me a fucking break. I'm going on a tangent. Thank you for the $2 super chat. I appreciate it. Where's Gecko at? He got timed out for the stream for saying the only banned word. The parable of the Good Samaritan definitely disproves your claim about your neighbor. Just FYI. I don't give a shit at this point. Those aren't Christians. No, they are Christians, Leandra. What we're not going to do is try to separate your bad actors from your faith so that you can try to polish off your turd of your religion and package it and send it to me instead of actually taking some sort of accountability for, like, making people take accountability for their actions. It's just not going to happen. Yo, guys, I'm back. I'm alive. Hell yeah, not Gecko. Good to see you. Welcome back. Are you a moral absolutist? Yes or no? I'm a subjective moralist. I think that subjective morality is going to explain why people genuinely lack the empathy to not rape other people a lot better than us getting our morality from some demonstrable objective source, right? That one blonde, I'm gonna get you out of here for you won't be out for the rest of the stream, but I'm gonna give you a minute off to cool down. But I became an atheist because I didn't see any evidence for God existing. That's the one and only reason I became an atheist. So, I hope that answers your question. When you come back, if you come back, please don't spam. You got 60 seconds off though. Moral relativism for me, yeah, me too. I think it'll explain things a lot better, right?
They rely on fallacies to defend their faith, such as not a true Scotsman and straw man.
Absolutely, they do. Rainer Big Strong, thank you for the $5 super chat. Yeah, it's especially that no true Scotsman, dude. Just, oh, you were never actually a Christian if you left your faith. Just another stupid shit. It's like, yeah, it'll. I mean, that's about as good as they can do, though, right? Can I really fault them for it? Thank you for the $5 super chat, though. I sincerely appreciate it. I'm gonna buy a Zuzu and a Wham Wham just for you. And also, Chantel, thank you for subscribing. I appreciate it. I love Scottish, man. That's not what the fuck we were talking about. I like Joe Hendry. Oh, as a wrestler, Drew McIntyre. There's a good Scottish man for you. We milk Hugh at dawn. No, the fuck we did not. If it's all relative, then there's no objective good or evil. I think it's up to individuals to define what's good or evil to themselves. Yeah. But again, I think the lack of an objective source of good or evil, or rather an objective demonstration of what counts as objectively good or evil, is going to better explain why there are people who touch kids versus the majority of people that don't. You love sin so much. I'm not reading the rest of that bullshit. Do you think being an atheist now, coming from being a mainstream Christian, is somehow different? What does a mainstream Christian even mean, Jiff? What does it even mean? You know, humans are on some shit when they break out that weird little hats. I don't know which weird little hats you're talking about, but every example that's coming to my mind, they tend to be on some shit when they whip them out. Kali Moon the Sorceress, Kali. I'm just going to say Kalai. Thank you for subscribing. Good to see you. Do you believe he didn't exist, or do you believe the Bible's a false description of him? I believe that he doesn't exist. The Bible's very obviously a false book, but even if that weren't the case, then I think it's impossible to argue for that particular God existing in some way that can be demonstrated in a way other than the Bible, right? We're not milking human men. Exactly. Let's tell them about it. Yeah, don't milk me. Can I ask you something? Should be on the bingo card. It should be, honestly. Slayer X Jr., thank you for subscribing. And Enclave Communications Officer, thank you for subscribing as well. I appreciate it. Where'd you originally find your faith? Cool name, by the way. I appreciate that. Thank you. Thanks for appreciating the name. It's I thought about it for the all of about 24 hours. No, but I originally got my faith from, like, it's my family. I was raised into Christianity, just like most people are. But I had my, like, born again moment when I was just like, okay, well, this is the way things are. God's been quote unquote good to me, this reprieve from an otherwise chaotic existence. So I might as well dedicate my life to him. So if that answers your question. Gregory K, thank you for subscribing as well. Good to see you. You are unhappy, angry person. Don't blame anyone for your issues, and don't say there is no God. This is part of the reason, for anybody wondering why I'm so dismissive when it comes to Christianity sometimes, this is partially the idea. Like, this is partially why, right? If I were to believe every single thing that Christians told me, I would have fucking killed myself by now. You know? I had to believe, oh, I'm angry, I'm this, that, and the third, I'm weak, and just bad, and all the bad things, and illogical, and everything I do short of giving my life to Christ is the wrong thing to do. And it's just, if I were to take every single Christian word at face value, I would have blown my brains out by now. That is not good for your mental health. And people like Tamara are, if that's not a prime example of why, I don't know what is. He's going to hell. There is no hell. Sorry to ruin your revenge fantasy. Do you believe in miracles? I don't personally believe in miracles. No, you don't believe me. That sounds like a you problem. What's your instance on? I'm guessing. I'm guessing just like stance on gay people. I don't have a stance on gay people. I couldn't care less what one consenting adult does with another consenting adult. I, my life's way too chaotic for me to give a shit about that. Right? Had that born again moment when I was a depressed child. Yeah, right there with you, right? My cat's watching your stream with me. Meow, meow, meow. Here we go. Oh, scum. Oh, I'm smoking on that scum pack. That shit's skadooshing hard as fuck right now. Oh, yeah, I'm rolling scum in this wood. Who I smoke? Scum. Let me stop. Get the fuck out of here. Do you have kids? I don't have any kids. No. Your thoughts on the Dead Sea Scrolls? Aren't they just like an Old Testament manuscript? And my only thoughts on that would just be that okay, Judaism's been around for a while, right? Have a question. What did the people you had around you take the news? So the first person and I think only person I had to tell was my mother, and she didn't take it well. You know, to this not to this day, I'm no contact with her, but um, until the day we stopped talking to each other, the day that I like blocked her and everything. Didn't wasn't a fan of it. Wanted to convert me back and things like that. So didn't take it too well. She told the rest of my family because she has NPD and apparently that's her news to tell now. But it backfired because my brother didn't give a shit even though he's still a Christian, and my sister didn't give a shit even though she's deconstructed since. Reinhardt, I don't. Whatever you got to tell yourself, dude. Just okay, dude. Why is it she picks up her head every time you meet? It's a sign. I should probably Never mind. I'm not gonna spit game. He has a free choice. The Lord will respect him, and shall we? I don't even believe God exists. It's not me making a choice. Highly doubt you were a true Scotsman. Oh, I love me haggis and me kill you. Yeah, okay, that was awful. I'm so sorry. Do you not love or miss your mom? I love her. I just don't like her. She's not a likable person. She's has narcissistic personality disorder, and yeah, I'm gonna leave it at that. My cat drew a pentagram on the floor. Hell yeah. W Kitty. Wait a second. Do you believe in Elon and Daddy Trump? Of course I do, right? God really loves you. If he wanted to tell me that, he can tell me himself, though. Christians love their stories. Yeah, indeed they do. While I have so many of you in here, subscribe if you haven't. Follow my other stuff. I'm going to start multi-streaming again soon. I got to move out of my current place by next month. So after that, and after I get my computer fixed, I'm gonna be on Twitch, TikTok, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Kick, Trovo. Follow me on all those things. Do exclamation links in the chat. I'll have all my links right there.
The people in the chat hating need to find another live stream to join. If you're here, be here to learn and embrace different opinions and perspectives.
Appreciate that, Nicholas. Thank you for the $5 super chat. I'll say I fully support their right to hate, though, if for no other reason than to demonstrate clear as day what Christians and Muslims and people that call these religions the focal point of their morality and the focal point of their lives, what they do and how hard they believe in it when given the opportunity to be mean to somebody, right? I would much rather them have an open forum to show clear as day why this religion is a joke. If it doesn't even make you want to be a better person, then I want you to show that clear as day and display it for the entirety of the chat. But other than that, yeah, I at least want to make it a productive discussion, right? Appreciate the $5 super chat, though. Thank you so much. I think my cat likes you more than me. She just clawed my hand. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. W. Let's get a W for Libra's cat in the chat. Scratch the fuck out of her. What's your opinion on trans rights? I think that trans people should have all of the rights that everybody has, and they have a right to exist. They have a right to their identity. So if that answers your question, all the rights, just all across the board, the rights. No such thing as a former Christian, only former Christians by name. Whatever you have to tell yourself to sleep at night, Cancer. Have you considered any other spiritual texts like the Upanishads or the Prashna Paramita? I haven't heard of those. Are they like the main, not main text, but like part of the text of Hinduism? Or if I'm guessing that right? If so, I do plan to read the Vedas and the Gitas eventually, but for now, haven't gotten around to it. Gotta find the time to actually dig into religious texts, right? W Cat, and you're a W streamer. Oh, I appreciate that. Thank you so much, Ruli. Thank you. I'll continue trying to be a wide streamer. Dogs are better. I like dogs better personally, but I love them both. I think on a scale of 1 to 10, like cats are a 10 and dogs are a 10.5. Like they're both perfect in their own ways. Don't cheer her on. Her claws are painful. Kitty, kitty. I'm just kidding. Thoughts on black magic? I don't believe in it. I don't think it does anything personally. What caused you to harden your heart to the Holy Spirit? Ask a more neutral question and I'll answer it. But that's loaded questions like that. I'm past the point of answering those. So sorry to hear about your falling out with your mom. It's completely fine. I'm a lot better off for it. If how do I best say this? When you throw out trash, you don't care about what dump it ends up at, right? That's where I'm at with her. Do you believe in intelligent design? Oh, that's on the bingo card. Oops, wait a second. Wait. Intelligent design. What is an atheist? I got that one. Who hurt you? I got that one. I got bingo. How many ways? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 ways. Hell yeah. 8 ways. If I got these last two, I would have it 12 ways and fill the whole board up. But anyway, what do I think about intelligent design? I'm not seeing the intelligence or the design in our universe, or our bodies for that matter. I'm not seeing the intelligence of a sun that gives off UV radiation that gives us cancer. I'm not seeing the intelligence in an Earth that was mostly unlivable for most of its existence. I'm not seeing the intelligence in like earthquakes or tornadoes or hurricanes or tsunamis or volcanic eruptions, all of which have killed millions upon millions upon millions of people. I'm not seeing the intelligence in an appendix that can randomly explode or burst, I should say, or rupture. I'm not seeing the intelligence in DNA that can get damaged and cause tumors to grow cancerously. And I'm not seeing the intelligence in depression or there's so many. I'm failing to see the intelligence behind it. Who hurt you as a gimme? Yeah, Rip is hilarious as fuck. He puts something stupid as the free space. I think that's gonna be a gimme every time. You're not seeing the intelligence in you then either. You are what you eat and work on. There's nothing that people eat that causes them to. I mean, there is some things can cause cellular damage when they eat, but there are cancers out there that are 100% natural. There's nothing that you can do to stop it or prevent it in any sort of way. Simply being out in the sun too long can get people cancer, especially if they don't have enough, if they're not predisposed to, basically if they're not darker skinned. See all your I don't see the intelligence comments really proof statement from earlier. You know what, Catser, I'm gonna get you on out of here. You're just a bitch. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. You're just not being logical. Just take care. Skadoosh. Just get the fuck out of my stream. Sorry. See you tomorrow. You will be back. You need my attention. You slurp it up like daddy's cummies. We're just not doing that tonight. Yeah, I'm not seeing the intelligence in all of these inefficiently quote unquote designed things. It's like, well, that just proves you weren't a Christian. You're just fucking at that point. Just get the fuck out. Bye bye. Why are you questioning this? This is the fallen world when Adam and Eve were cast out of the Garden of Eden. I refuse to believe that 2 humans eating a fruit 6,000 years ago is what caused the sun to start emitting UV radiation. I think that's fucking absurd, and I think that's a cop-out. Skadoosh. Take care. Bye-bye. You will not be back tonight. How do you feel about the government moving towards a Christian movement? How are they pushing towards a fourth Sunday worship? Very, very negatively. Blatant violation of the first 10 words of the First Amendment of the United States Constitution. Very blatant slap in the face to the separation of church and state. I think it's dumb, and I really, really, really hope I can be out of the country by then. I refuse. Refuse. Can you repeat that real quick, Keen? I'm good on that, Queen. No, thank you. You keep saying logic, but you don't have any yourself. Your arguments are if God exists, why is there suffering? LMAO. Tell me you haven't been here for longer than 2 minutes without telling me you haven't been here for longer than 2 minutes. Are you going to answer any real questions? LOL. If by real questions you mean, I don't know, just all I'm seeing is. I really got to take that word out of my vocabulary. I'm working on it though. All I'm seeing is dumbassery in the chat, so that's what I'm answering is dumbassery. You know, if by a real question you mean your question in particular, or just some presuppositional nonsense, then I mean I'll get to it when I get to it. But you know, don't blame me, the person trying to dig through the trash. Blame the people who dumped the trash. Me and Streamlabs bot have some beef now. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Just joined in. What's up, Allison? Good to see you. According to the biblical model of the universe, the light from stars in our own galaxy wouldn't reach us, let alone the light from other galaxies. Yeah, especially if created over the course of 7 days, right? Just there's the Bible gets so much wrong. Can we milk Hugh? No, the fuck we cannot. Have a good rest of your night, Watson. Thank you for being here. Have you looked into the human biofield at all? I have not. No. Hello, brother. Suggest you consider looking into Islam with an open mind. I can see potential in you. With every single last ounce of due respect, I would have to have like John Jones take a 2x4 and smack me as hard as he possibly humanly could in the back of my skull before I become a Muslim. Just with all due respect. What was your denomination? Before I left for 2 years, I was apostolic, but then before that, for 16 years, I was in the Baptist churches. Read the red words, like the words saying, hate your father, hate your mother, hate all the people around you to be my disciple, or the red words that say, like, you're allowed to beat your slaves in Exodus 21. Which red words are we reading here? You're completely lost. You know what, Tamara, you can go to. I'm not reading the rest of your bullshit. You're a habitual line stepper, and you couldn't pay me to stay in a stream with somebody that's apparently lost and all this extra shit and just talk down to him. Just fuck off. Fuck off. Fuck off. Fuck off at that point, dude. It's good douche. Bye, dude. You're killing my high, and I'm not even high right now. No name, you can go to. Let's just get some skadooshes going really quickly. I gotta play like some rap music or something. Wait a second. You're making a living talking about God. I have made, let me see, 5, 10, 12, 349 New Zealand's about $2, so 14, 17, 19. Yeah, I've made $19 this stream. That's before YouTube's and Apple's taxes, or fees, I should say. If you think $17 from one stream for an adult that lives on his own is livable, then you just gave away that you still live with your mother and dad, because you don't have a real conception of how money works. You think your $100 a week allowance or whatever you get, you're like, oh, it works for me, not accounting for the fact that you have a roof over your head and food in your stomach regardless. So you don't know how money works. Mommy and daddy did a terrible job with teaching you economics, and they should be ashamed of themselves. Do I believe in Satan? I don't believe in Satan. No, I don't. They're mad they don't like what they're choosing to watch. I'll never fucking get it, dude. I scroll on TikTok. I scroll through so many Christian live streams. So many. Reconstructionists, Darth Dawkins. I scroll through them. You know what the fuck I do? Oh, he's a Christian. Oh, they're arguing for Christianity. Not my vibe. Scroll away. Takes, I shit you not, no more than a couple seconds for me to realize, like, oh, okay, this isn't my space. Fair enough. Let me get the fuck out of here. Like, oh, let me actually just stay here and condescend and be a bitch. Like, no, it's just not gonna, it won't be me. It will not be me. Hope you find that peace you deserve, man. I sincerely appreciate that, Joseph. Thank you. 100 allowance would be crazy. Mommy and daddy don't have a, they don't make a lot at the Amazon factory. If I was still at Amazon, I do send like 100 easy. Well, if it's any consolation, you're not at all required to do anything with support in the stream. Just you being here is more than appreciated enough. Do you believe in anything spiritual at all, like ghosts or anything, or do you just believe we're a cosmic coincidence? I wouldn't say coincidence or anything supernatural. I think that the universe, being formed in the way that it is, would lead to us being this way, and I think that's the only possible way we could be. I'm kind of like a necessitarian about that. I think it's necessary that we exist like this. You have a personal question. What specifically in your church made you lose your faith? It wasn't anything in the church. Like, funny enough, I really enjoyed the church environment when I was, like, especially closest to the time I started deconstructing. It was the Bible that started me, deconstructing, because I decided to do what was right by God, or what I thought was right by God. Like, oh, let me actually read the book for myself instead of just going to church every Sunday, right? It's like, I want to teach this to other people. Let me read the thing myself. And that's where the problem started. Thank you for responding, big bro. Very thoughtful response. I appreciate that, man. I would say you're most welcome, but I don't feel like I'm doing anybody a favor by being here, right? God loves you. That's good for him. He can tell me himself, though. Science is real. Get all your boosters. Yeah, I really should get vaccinated against COVID one of these days. I just haven't found the time. Like, I have the time to. I just, like, I don't know, just keep forgetting to. I really should get my, yeah, because I got it. I think like early last year, and it sucked. Hated it. Hated it. Consciousness can't be an accident, just like how humans can make AI consciousness. We can also be made by some other consciousness or a higher power. Does the higher power need to be created by a higher power than it, or are we just going to kick the can to that and then special plead to say that's where it stops? Do you think we originated from aliens? I do not. No, I think aliens exist, or alien life in some way. If not just like algae or bacteria or whatever the fuck exists, I just don't think we'll ever get to it.
The Christian saying you're mad at God or God didn't perform for you have never read the Bible. I'll never get how PPL can read and not lose faith.
Thank you for the $5 super chat, LXW. I wholeheartedly agree, man. It's like, if we're an empathetic person, if we disagree with slavery being condonable, or rape being condonable, or pedophilia being condonable, if we think that a story of incest and cannibalism and genocide and infanticide and familicide, if we think that some such things are awful, then anybody reading the Bible should have pause if they finish it, right? But I mean, that a lot of Christians remedy that by simply never reading their Bible, and instead just like scrolling into atheist live streams to preach and be awful. But you take what you get, right? Thank you for the $5 super chat. I do sincerely appreciate it, though. Your body knocked it out and it's ready for next time, probably. But I still want to get it anyway. Not COVID. I mean, technically it would be COVID if I get the vaccine, right? Would you ever do a live or call, I'm guessing, in debate, but have a genuine talk about why you don't agree on beliefs, just logically see the Bible as true? You don't, but why, may I ask? I'm going to start doing that a little bit more in the future, maybe like 1 or 2 days a week. But I used to do that every stream. You can check my old VODs if you want to like get a sense of that. But I stopped doing it because like I just got exhausted with people. I got tired of losing viewers every time I got somebody up, and also I wanted to keep the discussion open. So those are the 3 reasons I stopped doing debates. But yeah, I'm gonna get back to them eventually. But as the channel like really, really, really grows, I don't even want my streams to be about religion. I want my just live, like long form content to be about it. Give a context where God's saying do slavery is okay. He didn't command people to do slavery, to be fair, but he knew it was happening and gave guidelines on how it should be done. In Exodus chapter 21, verses 20 and 21, he gives explicit guidelines on how hard you can beat your slaves. And in Leviticus chapter 25, verses 44 through 46, he tells the Israelites that they're allowed to own foreigners as slaves, as property for life. Says it right there in the verse. You can read it whenever you want to. Where do you get your morals from? From empathy, from my ability to experience empathy and know the consequences of my actions based on my ability to think about how my actions would affect me if somebody did it to me. Some of the stories in the Bible are horrific. Horrific's not even scratching the surface. What about the fact of how the Bible is written by witnesses and not by one guy? The Bible isn't claimed to have been written by witnesses, especially the Gospels. The Gospels are completely anonymous, all four of them written at the absolute earliest, like 50 years after the fact. It might be wrong about that, but at least decades after the fact. So, uh, not witnesses. Even scholars wouldn't even make that claim. So, no, I have zero reason to believe that it's a historical document. Would you be inclined to agree that the closest thing to a meaning that someone as arbitrary in the grand scheme of things as our existence can have is living it with few regrets? I'd say that's about as good as you can possibly get, or at least as far as the purpose I derive from my own life, that's about as good as I can get with it, right? It's just do all the things that I'm interested in doing and try to make as little of a negative impact as possible. But I mean, your mileage may vary. A lot of people, I mean, people are going to live for different things, right? Appreciate the question. A theocracy shouldn't have access to nukes. W comment. I'll leave it at that, but W comment for sure. Have you ever heard of the argument from reason? I don't know. People use the word reason in a lot of different unintentional ways when they argue. Uh, Fuck it. No. Let's just hear your version of it. What do you mean? Thank you for the dope stream. I love the voice. I appreciate that, Casey. Thank you. Have a beautiful day. See you around. Yeah, thank you so much, man. I'll see you around. Hopefully, if I don't die in my sleep tonight or something, I'll see you around. Take care. It's totally because you're gay, right? That's why you left Christianity. Oh, we have to be homophobic in order to insult somebody. Ain't that something? But no, being gay is not why I left Christianity. I'm not gay. Even if I was, there's people in the church right now who are pastors claiming that they have wives that they love very much who are low key sucking dick. So the two aren't mutually exclusive. Cecilio is super interested in you being gay with him. I think that's what he wants. I just have to ask for like an age check, and ask who's hosting. How do I find you on other streams so I can follow? You know what? That's a fantastic question. That's an outstanding question actually. I'm gonna do links in the chat. You can check the description of this video, but what I'm always going to direct people to, because it'll always be up to date, is my beacons. So got Twitch, I got TikTok, I got Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Kick, Trovo, DLive, Nemo TV. So I'm going to stream on all of those as soon as I get my computer fixed, my Streamlabs software updated, and once I move out and get settled into my new place. So follow me on those. I'll be multi-streaming soon. I'm probably going to start running like platform exclusive streams in the future, just to give people incentive to follow one particular platform, but that's in the future. For right now, we just get off the ground, right? But yeah, that's all my stuff's there. I sincerely appreciate the interest. That homophobia is like racism. Get something better in your heart. Yeah. I'll never get it. Oh, you left because you gay? Like, what is this, 6th grade? Are we fucking joking? Have you ever faced death? I have faced death a couple of times. I was scared, but I wasn't close to death. I walked away without injury, but I've been in a car accident once. But I've been closest to death because I have GERD, which is gastroesophageal reflux disease. It's the primary reason my voice sounds like this. And I've almost choked to death in my sleep a couple of times. I like to lay on my stomach. I also like to, I like to eat food that would keep me fueled, as the human being does. And when I eat, especially like fatty or spicy or sour foods close to bedtime, I'll it'll come back up whether I'm sleeping or not. So almost choked to death a couple times. A couple times it's like really, really, really bad. Like should have probably went to the hospital so bad. And yeah, faced death. And I can promise you the last thing I was thinking about was, oh, what's this random thing I used to believe in? Is it actually true? Am I going to hell now? Like, no, it's like, oh shit, who's going to find my body? How long is it going to be? How is everybody going to react to it? Who's going to wipe my hard drive? It's like, yeah, that was the things I was worried about. Is your name the same on other platforms? For the most part. On Twitter, the word Unchained doesn't have an E in it because you can only do 15 characters. Same on Snapchat. On nobody here uses Nemo TV. I doubt anybody here is Vietnamese, so I'm not even gonna talk about Nemo TV. But it's just Unchained on there because they don't allow more than like I think it's like 12 characters. I don't know, but you can see all of the stuff and like go to my beacons or go to the description. All of my stuff will be there. What do you think about the people who gave us rights, fought for us, and propped us up with the principles of the Bible, like MLK and Abraham Lincoln, who were influenced by the Bible? I'd also have to point to the people that put us in the position that they fought against in the first place, right? So I'm half black myself, and I've heard some stories, man. If you can look up the Negro Bible if you want, you can see how Christianity was spread to slaves and then spread to African Americans when they were, still being owned as property. Same with Native Americans. I'm a quarter Native. Back when they were getting genocided and having their land taken from them, they were also getting preached the Bible, given the book, in addition to new identities and shit like that. So I think if we're going to talk about the positive actions of Christians in ending suffering, we should also talk about the negative actions of Christians causing suffering as well. I think that would be only fair. But saying that, some later Christians picked up after earlier Christians' mistakes and like picked up their bullshit as like thanks, I guess. Like you shit in the dog shit in the park and somebody else picked it up. Ain't that sweet? Thoughts on if God says to do evil X, Y, and Z's and Jesus is God? The New Testament is praising the evil God of the First Testament as a Messiah. I mean, that would be the logical progression, right? Like, people want to call Jesus God. I know, like, oh, but he's a different essence, but they're all part of the same Godhead. I mean, even the Trinity breaks the law of non-contradiction if you really think about it. But beside that point, even if I were to accept the illogical nature of the Trinity, I mean, technically, like, what's the big difference between the thoughts and convictions of Jesus versus the thoughts and convictions of the Father in the Old Testament? And that's even backed up by verses like Matthew 5, not 6, Matthew 6, not Matthew 6, 5, Matthew 5:17. The Sermon on the Mount is what I'm thinking about, where Jesus said he came to not to abolish the law, but to fulfill it, and not to take not even the smallest letter from the law, because, or you'll be called least in the kingdom of heaven. So, very clearly Jesus lets it be known where he's there for. So it's a mess. I'm just going to end it all by saying it's a mess. Take care of your great human. Oh, I appreciate that, ampersand. Thank you. Hope you have a great sleep. Thank you so much for being here. First Testament was an evil God. It was just a different time. And that's part of the reason I deconstructed this, because I don't know if anybody here is in a Baptist church or used to go to Baptist churches, or even like maybe the ones I went to were different, but they preached God as like completely separate from humans, not having the same convictions as humans, not being held to the same standards as humans are. And so with that is going to come God not being obligated to follow human conditions and laws and shit, right? Like, for instance, in the Ten Commandments, people were cheating, right? They were committing adultery. They were fornicating before marriage and doing all these things. They were stealing from each other. They were worshiping other gods. But in the Ten Commandments, he has no issue saying, don't do the things. But all of a sudden, I'm supposed to believe and he could have just easily said, oh, don't own people as property. But instead it's like, oh, well, you can own them as property, but, you gotta treat them a certain type of way. You can only, if you beat them, they gotta be able to get up after 2 days. And I'm only saying that because you guys are doing it anyway. Like, it's just, it's illogical, right? It's ignoring both God's sovereignty, and it's also ignoring how God is fully capable of communicating his distaste for things. Have you heard of Stephen Darby? I have not heard of Stephen Darby, no. Welcome back, Mrs. Gecko. How you doing? Slavery's bad, hot take. Oops, I guess, right? That's true, but that's part of the Baptist faith. I mean, what's wrong with it, though? Is God sovereign? Is God beholden to societal expectations, right? The Mosaic laws are to be followed unquestionably, and the property owning having any addendum is silly. It's even backed up by Peter in 1 Peter 2:18-21. It's backed up by Paul in Ephesians 6:5. I mean, you can maybe even kind of argue it's backed up by by Jesus himself in what is it, like Luke 17, if you kind of think of it the same way. I don't, it's a little bit iffy about it, so I don't say that much, but backed up by the people who are apparently the people we're supposed to be learning all this from. So it's, yeah, doubtful. What was the turning point that made you atheist? For me, it was realizing that I was holding God to a different evidential standard than everything else. To elaborate a little bit, everything that I say exists either answers back in some way, or can be logically substantiated as existing in some way, or is very clearly physically detectable in some way. It can be smelled, it can be felt, it can be looked at, it can be heard, it can be tasted. And so God met none of these standards. And so for everything else that doesn't meet any of these standards, I call it non existent. And so eventually I realized that I was holding God to a different standard, and I didn't have a good reason to hold him to a different standard. So that's the moment I knew I was an atheist. See, the Bible is extremely poetic, allegorical, and complex. Although beautiful, putting it in schools is stupid, and having it as just as everyday easy book is also stupid. At least we're halfway there, right? At least we know we shouldn't be legislating or making this thing, part of academia, right? God is not human, but he supports humans and is connected to us. I'm not Baptist, so I'm not sure what they teach. I think at the very least, if God was so connected to all humans, he could have connected to the humans that were being owned as property, right? But I guess it's a little bit too much to ask for. Chris G, thank you for subscribing. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. You don't need to be verified. It was a constructive. Are you talking to somebody else? Maybe talking to somebody else. I might be talking to somebody else. Aura and energy can't be seen. No, I don't believe in aura, right? Like, what is aura? What does that describe? Energy. I mean, if you, I am like in some ways it can be seen, but even if I were to grant that it can't be seen, it can be logically substantiated, though, right? And electricity is the reason that my PC is on right now. It's the reason my fan's on right now. Thermal energy is the reason that my body's at 98.6 degrees right now. Chemical energy is the reason that the enzymes in my septic tank are breaking down my pee-pees and poo-poos right now. And so you can at least logically substantiate that these things exist. I could have did the same for God, but he didn't even meet that standard. In your eyes, as an atheist, is seeing believing. I think it's the most optimal way to accept something, but not always the case. No. Did they teach you this? Did they teach this when you went to church? Did they teach what? What are you talking about? Do you think God is a tyrant? I think any being that condones slavery, condones sexual assault against unwed women, and that threatens people for not believing it exists is going to be a tyrant. I think that's perfectly a fair word for it. Do you not believe in love then? Love is inherently faith-based too. By your logic, you ought not believe in love. What part of what I said means that I shouldn't believe in love? Let's hear it, because I feel like because I hear the love argument so much, and I hear such and such can't be seen so much, because I feel like people are just, I'm not gonna say people, I'm gonna call you guys out for it. I feel like you guys are just hearing what you want to hear and taking one part of the sentence out and then rebutting one part of the sentence so that you can run your apologetics that you got from your pastor or somebody on YouTube. So by all means, what about something being non-existent if it's not logically substantial, doesn't answer back, and not physically detectable means that I shouldn't believe in love? Let's hear it. Or we can do the more honest thing right now and admit that maybe we misunderstood me, or that you took something out of context that you shouldn't have taken out of context. You said God is not logically deducible. That's why you don't believe in God. Why not love? Love is logically deducible, both physically with serotonin, dopamine, norepinephrine, oxytocin, vasopressin, testosterone, and estrogen. And also logically by it being the thing that you experience in order to want to protect your progeny, and also the people that reproduce, that like the person you have your kids with and the people around you. So logical deduction right there, physical deduction right there. So I'm not seeing your argument. Love predates the book. Love far predates the book. Also, welcome back, James. Good to see you. Love is law and Satanism, though. Satanists are base. This chat makes it hard to have a real conversation, honestly. I'm sincerely apologize, but if you want, if you're over 18, you can try joining my Discord or something, or I don't know. But if you're like, if the implication is like there should be a way for you to call in and have a one-on-one discussion, I don't tend to do that anymore. It's exhausting, and also it kills viewership. You owe me ice cream. I got you on the ice cream, man. I got you. Just come on over. I feel like we legitimately get along pretty well and have a lot of deep conversations. IRL, probably, yeah. Like we can go out and get some beers. Drink beer, right? Get some beers, right? Some coffee when we had too many beers. Throw some ones. Had some women trying to get through college. You get what I'm saying, right? Hell yeah. Okay. Love isn't really faith, honestly, not in a classic way. If there exists an all-powerful God and the world is still like this, he, of course, loves us so much. This it feels like we're trying to, like, inject our preaching into, like, something that otherwise has nothing to do with what we're talking about. One can only question reality by appealing to something that is not itself in question. Thus, an objective source is necessary as a standard against which reality is measured. For me, I'm going to go with the things that can be, at the very least, agreed upon and detected by our sense data. I'm gonna go with that as being the objective standard. Magnets, do we believe in those? I have magnets in my fridge right now. What happened to everyone? After like 80 or so minutes, the viewership falls off a bit. It's fine. I streamed earlier, not earlier, like before this, I ran a stream and it was same deal. So I'm completely fine with that. So you read the Bible, you ask yourself why God allows certain things. Oh no, here we go. Here we fucking go. Here we go. Oh boy. Oh boy, here we go. Somebody not paying attention. Oh boy. Somebody either not paying attention or just making shit up so it's easier to contend against my reasons for believing. Holy fuck. Anyway, so you read the Bible, you ask yourself why God allowed certain things, but he was holding us hostage and not allowing humans any free will, would say he's a dictator. Okay, so boy, there's so many things wrong with this. So the reason that I deconstructed after reading the Bible has little to do with the things that God allowed, right? All to do with the fact that he allowed them in the first place, not the implications of it necessarily. But let's just assume that's not the point really quickly. I don't think there's anything about us having free will that would also coincide with the bad things that happen that would have had to be created by God that are natural and don't require human intervention, like earthquakes and hurricanes and cancer. And also how God could have just made some things physically impossible, right? Like I can't use my mind to blow your brain into smithereens right now. I can't explode your heart using not telepathy, telekinesis right now. I can't do it. It's physically impossible. That would be a bad thing to do, but it's physically impossible. He could have did the exact same thing for all sorts of awful things. So it makes a lot more sense to me that we evolved the ability to do some bad things and God had no hand in it versus God creating us to be able to do some random bad things and not do some other bad things arbitrarily. It makes a lot less sense to me. I'd like to hear some more points from if you could. Most questions have been answered with slavery. I can't see it. God gave us free will, which answers slavery very quickly. It doesn't at all. So God also gave us the free will to commit adultery, and yet, which one is it? Like the fifth commandment? I don't know. He says in the 10 commandments, thou shalt not commit adultery. We still have the free will to do it, but he let it be known very quickly. This is something I don't want you to do because I find it distasteful. He could have did the exact same for slavery, but he didn't, showing that he doesn't find it to the same level of distaste that required him or caused him to put it into writing that he didn't like it, right? That was a word salad. If he didn't want us to do slavery, he would have said don't do slavery. He didn't want us to do adultery. He said don't do adultery. I don't say God condoned adultery because God communicated very clearly that he finds it distasteful and not to do it. If he did the same against slavery, I'd have no logical leg to stand on. So there we go. That which is infinitely lesser cannot deceive concerning what the hell? Are you saying something before this? No. Let's see what we got here. That which is infinitely lesser, okay, cannot deceive concerning that which is infinitely transcends Satan. Is it what in the? Am I reading actual words here? Am I having a stroke here? I want to read this verbatim. Please let me know if this makes sense. That which is infinitely lesser cannot deceive concerning that which is infinitely transcends Satan is a creature, truth is uncreated. I feel like I'm having a stroke reading that, but I mean, I could just be stupid here. Anybody else having a stroke reading that? Anyway, I think God uses bad things in order to bring people closer to Him. I think that's fucking atrocious. Actually, I would think that's very absurd. If not logically, just morally, right? I'm going to allow awful shit to happen to you just so you can draw closer to me. That's narcissistic as shit. Imagine if I don't know, imagine if like my toddler or something was about to walk into the oven and I just let them walk into the oven so that they can need my help in getting them out of the oven. But they're going to come out of the oven burnt and scarred up. Does that make any sense? Logically, sure. Sociopathic and narcissistic, disgusting, yes. So if that's the hill you want to die on, I don't know. I don't know if you want to die on that hill. Why did God make mosquitoes? The most deadly animal on the earth. I couldn't tell you. Which denomination is the least harmful? It's impossible to say, but I feel like the Universalist Unitarians are kind of chill. Like if you're gonna believe in this stuff, at least like I don't know, think everybody goes to heaven and that all are welcome, and I don't know, it's probably. You didn't hear God when you wanted to in order to keep your faith, but we know faith is believing in what is unseen. Logic and faith don't go hand in hand. I would grant you that last sentence for sure, but then faith has no use for me. I am wholly uninterested in dedicating myself, especially to the level of dedication I did for Christianity, to something that's not true. And so it makes zero sense to me that a God that's all powerful, which means he can show himself to people, and that's all knowing, meaning that he knows what would convince people, to not do so and just say, "Oh, I consider you arbitrarily, blindly having faith to be virtuous." Like that makes no sense to me. That's very clearly a human making some shit up so people can continue believing in a religion without any evidence. Seems kind of odd to me. An all-powerful God can bring everybody closer without violence, death, lifelong suffering, and catastrophe. Yeah, exactly. And to even add to that a little bit, there's some suffering that doesn't bring you closer to God in this life. I mean, it brings you closer by literally killing you in some way, right? Somebody can get molested or raped and then get so depressed that they kill themselves. Somebody could die of cancer, right? I'm not seeing how any of that suffering would end in you getting closer to God in any way. That seems kind of odd. Come back home. Christianity's not home for me. I'm sorry. The benefit that benefits them, but God is on a much larger scale. It's what the hell? Did you say something before this? Whatever you said before it didn't go through. If you said something before it, he only reveals himself to people that he has a relationship with. Oh, if that's the case, like then I'm not interested, right? I gotta believe in God in order to believe in God. That's just circular to me. Everything else in my life that I accept at the very least or dedicate myself to at the most, you know, can be shown with evidence first before I can make the decision to have that quote unquote relationship. Like my ex-girlfriend, for instance, I had to first know that she existed, right, before I can choose, okay, am I going to have a relationship with this person, or am I going to block them or ghost them, or maybe communicate that I'm not interested or whatever, right? You know, that's how it goes with literally everything else. So if you gotta first have a relationship with something that you're not sure exists in order to get evidence that it exists, that seems highly inefficient and honestly absurd. I don't accept that in the slightest. Rick Astley fan page, W name, how you doing today? We don't lean on our own understanding for a reason. I'm gonna not stop you right there, but I'm gonna stop reading right there. This is I explained this in my why I left religion story, but very very odd to me that A being that's capable of showing himself and that knows what would convince each individual person without him making it so overt that it I don't know, breaks physics or some shit. Just blindly, oh, don't use the brain that I gave you. That's worldly wisdom according to 1 Corinthians 1. Right? It's from the outside looking in, this seems like something to satiate people who into not questioning the religion. And that's part of why I made my bio on every platform except for YouTube what it is. The truth doesn't mind being questioned. It's half of a Nietzsche quote, and a lie doesn't like being challenged as the other half. If God were real, if God were self evidently real, he wouldn't give a shit if you question his existence or not. He wouldn't tell you, oh, just lean not on your own understanding. Don't use the brain I gave you. Just accept it and be dumb and be obedient. No, absolutely not. I don't accept that. Ironically enough, I don't accept that because I think far greater of God than that. All powerful, you have the capability of doing so. All knowing, you know how to convince people. So yeah, I don't accept that in the slightest. I give God his sovereignty way too much for such a thing to make sense to me. Fellow Gerd bro, any remedies you use? Been suffering for 12 years and my voice is trashed. Oh shit, man. I'm sorry to hear that. Tums, obviously, they're gonna do you well. Calcium, I think is that carbonate or I forget what the active substance in Tums are, but those are great. Nexium works for me too. Esomeprazole, oral meprazole, either or. I forget what omeprazole is. I forgot. I know one is Nexium. I forget the other. And also, if you're strapped on cash, baking soda. Yeah, a little bacon. It's gonna suck. It's gonna be salty and disgusting, but a fair amount of baking soda. And if you have high blood pressure, maybe take it easy on this because baking soda is ultimately sodium. But some baking soda and some water. If you're really a hound dog, you can just swallow it dry. I wouldn't recommend that on my worst enemy, but in some water, hopefully that'll neutralize things a little bit. Tums are a no-no. Omeprazole use a bunch. You don't use Tums. Tums work for me, but I don't often buy them because I don't know. Just my doctor prescribes esomeprazole, so I just use that. But yeah, baking soda. That's the shit right there. Somebody recommended vinegar. I don't know about vinegar. It's acid, so I don't know if acid is gonna help an acid stomach issue too much, but I mean I might try it just to report on it. But yeah, that's the stuff right there. Pickle juice. Does pickle juice work? I mean, I'm gonna be a little bit hesitant toward anything that's acidic, right? Don't lay down after eating helps. Yeah, that's huge. Um, Especially if you're going to maybe don't eat anything too fatty or too spicy or too sour or acidic. Um, that just describes my favorite flavors. I love hot sauce on everything, and I think the night I almost died from it in my sleep. I think I had like buttered noodles with hot sauce. I love buttered noodles, just plain old good butter, egg noodles. Put them together. There you go. Love it. Had some of that with some hot sauce. Yeah, I was just asking for it. Laid down like almost right after, wondering why I damn near choked in my sleep. Like, duh. Right. You drink ginger ale? Ginger ale's the shit. Yeah. Over in Michigan, we have Verner's. I don't know if that's everywhere, though. I don't think it is. Blame your diet? My diet has little to do with it. I think it's less so my diet and more so just like the way my stomach sphincter is. It might be weak. Went through Zantac, prescription antacid, and all the Tums before I learned about pickle juice. Well, shit, hell yeah! I got a nice big jar of pickles in the fridge. I might check that out. Got some malt vinegar too, but malt vinegar is too expensive for you to just use it as a remedy. Even though I like to taste better than regular vinegar, right? I cut red meat for the most part, and that's helped a lot. That'll do it. Yeah, red meat can be pretty fatty. Chug Pepto Bismol. Ooh, I can't stand the taste of Pepto. Can't stand it. Awful. Gross. Gross, 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 gross. Hate it. Tua. For leg cramps, pickle juice is good. I rarely get leg cramps. I think I don't want to talk. Fuck it. The only times I really get leg cramps is when I'm having sex. That's like when I'm like really. I don't know. It's like a certain angle. I'll cramp up. Other than that, no. I barely get leg cramps, and obviously that's not an issue I have anymore. But beside the point, what isn't expensive nowadays? Fair. Soon enough, they're gonna start charging for oxygen in some way. I'm not. Just fuck off. Oh man. Anyway, what are you currently reading, if anything, or favorite book? I'm not currently reading anything. I think I'm not a huge fan of books anymore, to be completely honest with you. Cause like it's just hard to fit them into my current media consumption. I don't hate reading. It's in and of itself. It's just I'm sitting here watching videos or trying to plan out something with this. Especially nowadays, I'm busy trying to pack up it so I can get ready for the move and everything. I just got an interview for an apartment or whatever, and yeah, I just don't have the time to. What's on my book is "Crucifying the Bible" by Deborah Grace. I might read that soon. Other than that, though, I like religious texts. I'm probably gonna read the Book of Mormon next. After that, maybe at least one of the Gitas, maybe the Bhagavad Gita or something. And yeah, just go from there. Pepto's absolutely delicious. What do you mean? Something about it. I can't stand it. He was lonely. He was a bit lonely. It's probably concerning that I like the taste so much. If it's any consolation, there's some things I like the taste of that people don't like black licorice. I fucking love black licorice. It's one of those things where I get like the taste of it makes me understand why people hate it, but I personally love it. It's like very strong, pretty anise like. It's not super overly sweet like most candy is. So I can definitely see why people would. It also gets a little bit exhausting. Like it makes your mouth feel like really extra fragrant in kind of a weird way. So I get why people don't like it, but I love it. So it's just one of those things. I'm not going to judge you for liking Pepto though. An all-powerful, all-knowing, and all-loving God wouldn't create a planet that's prone to natural disasters and parasitic organisms that cause unnecessary suffering for its creations. Exactly, right? Or at the very least, like, I'll say at the very least, I'm going to add on to it instead. I'll say it that much. Wouldn't make the sun carcinogenic. If we got to work in the sun, if we're made to live in the sun or whatever, revolve around the sun, then maybe let's not make the sun carcinogenic, right? I think that's fair. You also hate peanut butter unless it's a Reese's. I couldn't tell you. I want to try peanut butter. I really got to get my allergy test done again because last time I had just a little bit of peanut butter, I didn't break out or anything. So I feel like maybe the allergies worn off, and I really hope it has because there's this one sandwich from the show called Dragnet in the 50s that I really want to try. It's got like corned beef, peanut butter, Swiss pickle, lettuce, tomato, coleslaw, horseradish, hot mustard, mayo, and Russian dressing. Sounds delicious, but everything else on the sandwich, I could just do that, but I want to be authentic and use some actual peanut butter on it too. Licorice and candy corn. I like candy corn too. I got candy corn in my cabinet. I don't know if anybody else. I know there's probably some depressed motherfuckers in here. I got depression though. I'm diagnosed. I'm on bupropion or whatever, and I have a cabinet just for foods. Well, I got a cabinet and a drawer in my fridge, and a little, like the door of my freezer is just for foods that I only eat when I just don't feel like cooking or don't feel like doing anything, and I got some candy corn in the cabinet. It's been up there for a while. I haven't rummaged through the cabinet in a while. All that stuff's just like waiting for things to get bad. But yeah, it's got some candy corn, got some candy canes, right? Got some Takis, some stuff. Some stuff. Candy corn is overhated. I agree. I think even I can see why people don't like it, maybe because of the texture or like the honey flavor or whatever. But even then, I don't think it's that bad, right? Like, I could see if somebody told me they absolutely hate black licorice. I'm not gonna argue with them because I get it. It's polarizing. You love it or you hate it. Candy corn. I feel like people are just kind of being performative when they say they hate it that bad. GERD flare up. Best thing is instant carnation chocolate milk. Coats your esophagus thick. I might try it out. Might try it out. I don't. I just gotta try it out. What other snacks do you have in that cabinet? I have I got some nacho cheese Doritos. Got some flaming hot Cheetos. Got some Takis. Like the Fuego. Don't eat those before bed, right? Um, got some candy canes, some candy corn. Got some Kit Kats up there. What else? Oh, I probably gotta check it. Oh, I got some marshmallows. No, I got some marshmallows up there. Marshmallows cheer me up. I never eat them unless I'm like really down in the dumps though. Just something about the texture, just like I don't know. It's probably I'm sounding really lizard brained right now, but yeah, this do it for me. You Americans eat really gross candy. I'll give you that one. I'll give you that one. I'll give you that. I'll give it to you. Yeah, I imagine Danish candy's a lot better. Um, you love peanut butter and black licorice. I wish I knew what peanut butter. I know what it tastes like. I wish I could actually continue to eat it. Candy corn would be so much better if the layers had different flavors. That would hit, but I think they just make too much of it for that to be a thing, or it'd be too expensive. Love Takis. Also love salt and vinegar Lays. Salt and vinegar chips are like the piss kink of chips. I'm sorry, I said it. I like them. So I don't have a piss kink. I don't have a piss kink, but um, yeah, they get very, very abrasive after a while, just to your mouth. I can't eat more than a few of them. I don't like anything I can't eat too much of at once. Right? It's just I don't know, dude. I don't know. I don't. It's yeah. They taste okay, but they're very abrasive. Very, very abrasive. I dislike black licorice unless I'm sick for some odd reason. It's the only candy I can tolerate. Then probably just like the hit to your taste buds and it's like really fragrant and stuff. I don't know. What about the fridge though? I gotta. There's a lot of stuff in my fridge. The little like depression drawer in my fridge, all it has is like I know I got some hot dogs in there. I'll have to check it again. Actually, I know there's like some Hebrew Nationals in there though. Can't admit even if I feel a certain way or whatever I get out or fired from service. They do have help services, but if someone were to say they could potentially get kicked out, so what's the point? Yeah, yeah. I won't even go into how in the fucking dumps mental health services are in this country. GERD and vinegar don't mix. Indeed, they don't. You sent a request. Where'd you send a request on? Most of our candy has been outsourced to Poland. I missed. I'm maybe gonna try to say that, but hell yeah. I'll eat multiple bags of salt and vinegar chips in one sitting. Holy fuck! The top of your mouth must looks like I almost made the worst joke ever. Um, yeah, it probably looks like a prolapse or something. Jalapeno flavored chips taste absolutely disgusting. They taste funky. They're hit or miss for me. They'll never be my first choice, but I'll always appreciate when somebody like either gets a bag for me or if I like I don't know, wherever they encounter me, I'll accept them with wholehearted, like with open arms. But yeah, they make different flavors of candy corn. I'm not sure if they make multi-flavor candy corn in each piece. They don't, at least from what I've seen. I know they've got like chocolate. I don't really like the chocolate candy corn. I think we're just like trying too hard. Have you tried those lime Lay's chips? So good. For some reason, I only find them in Spanish. I have not. Are you talking about like the flaming hot limon? If so, yes. If like it's just plain lime, then no. Hope there's not another ritual in this. There won't be. I'm getting off of here soon. Elliot, thank you for subscribing. I appreciate it. How can you eat the vomit chocolate? I don't get it. What vomit chocolate? Like Hershey's? I mean, Hershey's, it's all we got, right? It's okay. It's fine. It'll do. So, Jesse, good to see you again. I'm getting off of here soon. So, you know, gotta, you know, do that. Oh, shoot. I thought I closed out on my stream. It's the one from like, the one I ended already. But yeah, I'll probably get off here soon though, especially now that we're in the lull and we're talking about candies and foods and shit. It's what I like talking about though over religion, obviously. Love abrasive foods, super salty stuff, super sour, super spicy. I like super spicy. Super sour, candy, yes. Everything else, no. Super salty, no. I just can't do it. I feel like there's just no point after a certain point. I especially with my blood pressure being high, like I gotta try to be cognizant of it. Not enough to to make better choices, but enough to not try to drive it up the roof. I'm tired. I'm tired too. I'm pretty tired. Lemon chips are available on Amazon. The spicy kind are better though. Yeah, spicy's always gonna do you better. I'm also from New Mexico and I love horchata and marzipan. I can't have marzipan. I think it's made with is it made with almonds? Something. Horchata. I haven't had horchata either. I know exactly what it is though. Getting ignored, bruh. It's not that many people in here. I highly doubt it. Maybe you said something that got filtered. I don't know. Gonna go milk. No, don't milk them, dude. No, let's keep them unmilked tonight. If my diet is awful, can I blame God later on the hypertension diagnosis later on? I love my steak and vanilla cake. Steak is based. Steak is my second favorite food. Vanilla cake, I like it, but it's like it'll never be my first choice. And also, I prefer like cheesecake or pie instead of cake, right? F in a chat for chat. F in a chat for chat. Hell yeah. Hershey sucks. I don't mind. I don't mind it. It's whatever. Damn, son, where'd you find this? Ask him why is he atheist now, but you can if you want the whole story, do exclamation Y in the chat. I'll link it to my the video talking about it. But it like the short answer is because I read the Bible. The Bible made me think about God differently. Looked into apologetics. The apologetics were intellectually dishonest in their argumentation, and then which led me thinking maybe it's not real. So I looked at the evidence, and all the evidence sucked, and that's why I left. You just have to listen. He has a lot. Yeah. Doritos does that chili spice stuff. That's awesome. Chili spice. Not. Oh, like the spicy sweet chili. I haven't had those in a while. They used to be my favorite though. Now they kind of taste like cereal to me. Hershey's is so good. There's better chocolate, but I don't mind Hershey's, right? I'm going to try to find this again. It's a good station to get my attention. So that's really saying something. Very good. I was diagnosed as bipolar too. Hell no. Are you okay? I was going to say hell yeah for the compliment, but hell no on the bipolar too. Are you doing all right? You reached a good place with it? I miss red meat, hard cheeses, and beer, but my gout is taking joy. Oh, you have gout? Oh, fuck, dude. Those are all horrible for it. Yeah, that'll do it. That'll fucking do it, dude. I'm sorry to hear that, man. Shit, man. God damn, man. Oh, fuck. Red meat. I don't know if I could go without red meat. I love chicken. It's my favorite protein, like in general, but if I couldn't have steak or bacon or pork rinds, if I couldn't have pork rinds ever again, that would fucking suck, dude. I love pork rinds. Big fan. Big fan. I don't know how the fuck I managed to lose weight. My diet's still awful. I know the actual answer is because I just like eat less meals or whatever, but it's like, god damn. My body's got to be going through it right now. We never went demon mode. We'll go demon mode next stream. We went God mode this stream, no? If God doesn't exist and it was my fault, my wife left me, inconceivable. Yeah, it's definitely not your fault, King. Yeah, she's just a stuck up bitch. Let me stop. Read it again this time. Pray before you do ask for guidance. Oh, I'm past the point of like, I hate to be dismissive, Mimi, but if I were to take every single Christian recommendation for how to reach God at face value, then I would never, ever, 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 ever be in a place where Christians would find my lack of belief satisfactory. I'm past the point. I did all the prayer, did all the crying and all that stuff, and at the absolute most, I got embarrassed by God. He kept me on red. He was like, "Nuh-uh, LOL," and so at the absolute very least, if he is real, then He chose it. You know, he chose separation from me at that point. Jesus died for you. Anyone? Do you think that randomly just proselytizing like pre-programmed catchphrases is gonna do anything for me? Like, I want you to be completely honest with yourself, right? Imagine if a Muslim told you, um, Muhammad is the final prophet of Allah. Read the Quran. What would you say to such a thing? You probably wouldn't be too abrasive toward that guy, but you wouldn't consider it for even a second, right? Conversely, if I don't believe that God exists and I don't believe Jesus died for me in particular or for humanity in particular, then what do you think that saying is going to do for me? I know it makes you feel better. I know your pastors or your apologists that you watch or whatever programs you to think, oh, okay, whenever you come across disagreement, just say these words and it'll convince them and, you know, the Holy Spirit will fall on them or whatever. But do you honestly think that that's actually going to do anything? Did you hear about the legend of Jesus? Well, legend has it Jesus rose from the dead. He took a minute and beat one out in this route of Turin. Could you imagine if it was just like a holy cum rag all these years? What's his obsession with lizard milk? Don't worry about it. Um, we need to summon chocolate. I wish some chocolate would be good right now. Would you be more open to accept a naturalistic resurrection if the claim wasn't supernatural? Probably not, because naturalistic quote unquote resurrections only really happen with medical intervention using technology that we either start only like has been available for a lot less than 2,000 years, or techniques that we haven't known about for 2,000 years, like CPR. So, yeah, I doubtful. It's doubtful. You know, it's doubtful. You're an insomniac. You're always up for a chat. I'm going to sleep after this, so if you message me on Discord, I have to get back to you afterward. We need to summon a demon. We need to play Doom Eternal in real life. I'll pass on that, dude. I would get really bloody and really violent. Chicken and fish is neat and all, but I used to cut off what I wanted from the cow and rode the rest home. My carnivore side has been sad for 20 years now. God damn, dude, that sounds so fresh. Oh man, that sounds so fresh. Ah, jeez. Steaks. You got to have even the chef's cut of steaks too, cause you get the whole animal. Fuck, dude. I'm sorry to hear that, man. The original sin was knowledge. Adam didn't have knowledge. How can you blame man for sinning? And there you go, right? Can also give you Bible verses if it's better. I've read the Bible twice. There's no Bible verse you can give me to make me come back. You're right for wanting a personal experience with God, and you didn't get your own timing, but keep seeking Him. I'm past the point of seeking Him at this point. I'm sorry, Mimi, but I did my part, and you know, if let's say hypothetically there was a man that you wanted, and he was constantly emotionally unavailable, you know, just distant, never ever gave you validation that you wanted, and then like, would you eventually get to a point of saying, okay, well, maybe this isn't for me? Or would you get to a point of saying, you know, maybe if I just keep seeking him and just keep seeking him, like maybe he's not for me, but if I just keep seeking him, he'll turn around. No, we're past that point. Especially if the man in question is one that's all powerful and all knowing. So knowing what it would take to convince me and being capable of doing so. So, you know, I apologize. I don't apologize. I'm being facetious. It's unfortunate that you find my lack of belief unsatisfactory, but I'm past the point of seeking and seeking and seeking just because Christians tell me to. Sorry. The Holy Spirit just comes over us. It came in me earlier. It was fantastic. Have a good night. Peace. Have a good rest of your night, Brainer Big Strong. Appreciate you being here. Your phone's charging, so you will not be present in Discord. I probably won't be present in Discord either. My bed's calling me. That cooking oil is calling me. If you were here in like the last stream, you know what I'm talking about. So need to protect all the lizards from these weird people. There you go, Gecko. You got a friend. And the Lord said, because his people draw with their mouth and honor me with their lips, their hearts are far from me. Okay, yeah, just it's biblical bullshit. Got you. I too am waiting for an experience. Well, I hope you A, get it, and B, you know, hope you get to a point where you find any experience that you get content. If it's no experience, I hope it leads you to a good conclusion or a healthy conclusion. If it's inexperience, I hope it leads you to a healthy conclusion. But I think my conclusion is currently healthy. I'm good with that. I think with that, I might even end it. Yeah, that's a good place to end it. Sure, yeah, we'll end it right there. Thank y'all for watching. Thank you so much. It was a good one. So in the future, I'm gonna start because this worked out. I'm gonna start restarting the stream like at the halfway mark, like hour and a half through, or maybe like 100 minutes in. I'm going to cut off the stream and then restart it and do a second one. That's how it's gonna go from here on out, or at the very least until my algorithm like improves for each individual restart. But yeah, thank y'all for watching. Sub if you haven't already. Right. Follow me on both TikToks as well as Twitch, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Kick, Trovo, DLive, or Nemo TV. Those are the platforms I want to stream on. Might do some radio on Clapper too, but it's like a whole process to do that. Clapper, if you have it. If you like Gen X TikTok, basically, Clapper is your place. If you like Chinese TikTok, Zhao Hongshu is your place. Threads and Blue Sky if you don't like Twitter. I'm on both of those. Add me on Snapchat if you want to talk in private. Join my subreddit, join my Discord. If you want to send text to speech, you don't want to send a super chat, I guess. Maybe you want to pay with PayPal or some shit. Either tip me on Streamlabs $2 or more, or donate $2 or more to the Crisis text line through my Streamlabs charity link. If you want to support the stream, PayPal, Venmo, and Cash App are in there. Merch, Patreon, if you want to support me monthly. Treat, Stream, and Throw, and if you want to send me either food or some gift. And if you do crypto, all my addresses are in there. Oh yeah, shit. If you want to contact me for, nobody here does like business inquiries or anything. So I'll leave that out. But yeah, take care. Have a good one. So sorry to hear that, Jesse, but skill issue, skadoosh, over for you. Not kidding. Have a good one. Take care.